I've been thinking about why I do facial exercises, and I came to this understanding that really what it does is put me back in control of my aging process. Because what happens when we finally see that person in the mirror that we don't recognize anymore, we start to get out of control and we start to panic about how we're going to get back to what we were like before. And the truth of the matter is that we're never going to get back to what we were like before. We're never going to get back to what we were like when we're 30. That's the truth of the matter. But the truth is that with your fingertips, you can be in control of your aging process. It's not like having to go and have injections or fillers, or it's not like going to have a facelift. And I know that people, even I have thought about it when I first started facial exercise. Before I started and found facial exercises, I thought about it too. And you all know the story as to how I got into facial exercises. And this was because I was going on TV with my Renew Me product. I was about 50, 51. And when I looked in the mirror and saw myself, I thought, I can't go on TV looking like this. I can't go on national TV looking like a hag. See this picture here? That's how I looked. Obviously, I looked a bit better with makeup on, but that was how I saw myself. And I wanted to go and have injections, and thankfully my husband said no, because it was like the price of a mortgage payment for the week. So he said, no, we're not doing that. You have to find a different way. And you can imagine me thinking I'm going on national TV looking like this in my mind. But anyway, that was okay. We got through that. I did go onto national TV and everything was fine. But what the best thing was that I came back and I started this journey as to find out how to rejuvenate myself naturally. Because really at the end of the day, I didn't want to have injections. I didn't like the thought of injections for me. Now, I've got no problems with people having injections because that's what they do. It's a very personal decision. It's got nothing to do with me, because what we do with ourselves and our own body is our personal decision, and nobody has a right to say it's right or wrong. But for me, I am not obviously someone who wants to use injections or have a facelift. So I had to go on this journey to find out what else we could do. And thankfully, facial exercises came along. And I really did stick at it for a long time when I wasn't getting any results at all. But once I started doing the repetitions and realized that when you do repetitions, that's when you start getting the results. And I was so pleased because there was hardly anyone else around even doing repetitions, and I felt so pleased that I'd found it. So the other thing about it too is that facial exercises, a lot of people say, oh, the reason why I don't do facial exercises is because it causes wrinkles. Well, yes, it does cause wrinkles, and I do say this to people all the time. It does cause wrinkles if you are not doing it correctly. So a lot of people will justify this going to doctors, and doctors will say, oh, don't do facial exercises, you'll get wrinkles. Well, yeah, you will, if you do it incorrectly. If you do it correctly, you won't get wrinkles. So there's a whole science behind facial exercises, which sits behind the exercises for your body as well. It's the same thing. You just have to tweak it a little bit differently. But the thing is that it is sustainable and it does work. Because if it didn't work after 5 or 6 years, I would have wrinkles all over my face. Don't you agree? If facial exercises didn't work, I would have wrinkles all over my face, because I don't use fillers and injections and I haven't had a facelift. And by the way, a lot of people do say this to me, oh, you use fillers, you use injections, you've had a facelift. But what I want to say to you is that my face is so toned that if I had had a facelift, it would not look as good and as toned as it looks now. If I had had fillers and injections, my skin would be so smooth, and it's not. You can see I can move my skin around, I can move my muscles. And that's what I also love about facial exercises, is that it's natural. And just because there are some wrinkles, there are going to be wrinkles, and I accept them. And for me, in my mind, all I'm doing is aging gracefully. That's how I feel. And even though I know I'm going to age and I know that I'm going to get wrinkles and more wrinkles, even though I'm doing facial exercises, it doesn't hold back the wrinkles exactly. It doesn't hold them back perfectly, and it doesn't take you back to when you were much younger, looking like you were much younger. It just gives you this amazing feeling of like your muscles feel really energized. Your thinking is very energized. The way you feel about yourself, you feel a lot more confident. You feel like you can do more. This is why I really love facial exercise, because you can do it all the time. And if it does stop, you just have to start doing it again. It doesn't cost you anything. You just start doing it again. And it's the most sustainable anti-aging thing that you can do for yourself. This is the reason why I do facial exercises. That's what I love about it. It's natural and it's real. Pop your comments in below to tell me how it's affected you. Well, you have a lovely day and I'll see you next time. Bye.